Hey, what's up, guys? Fula here with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. So in this video, man, I want to talk about Mikey Garcia's recent choice words for Lomachenko and Crawford. Now, we know that Mikey Garcia moving up. We knowing that he fighting arguably the most difficult opposition that he will have fought in Errol Spence. But now let's look at what some of the reasons are that he's really fighting him, or some of the reasons in which he says why he's fighting Errol Spence instead of some fighters that are at his natural weight class. Now he said, there's no one out there right now that can motivate me and challenge me enough like Errol Spence, and that's why we're going after Errol Spence. He said he wants to prove to everybody that he's the best at the generation, and if he doesn't get these fights, he won't be recognized. This. I mean, honestly, I kind of understand that, but at the same time, I feel that it's a money fight for Mikey Garcia. This is going to obviously be his biggest bag that he's ever going to get since being a professional prize fighter. And I think that, with that being said, I guess this option was one of the options that would give him the highest payment, and if we look at Mikey Garcia's history, he's kind of technically always been like a division hopper. He's a hell of a fighter, don't get me wrong, he's a very good fighter, but he never really stays at one division long enough to really do anything in that division. Basically, that's what we usually see with Mikey Garcia most of the time. The thing is, he said that, the fight was easy to work out, that it was easy to negotiate. He actually went on to thank the Spence team for accepting the fight, and and he actually said that the fight that he's taking with Errol Spence makes most sense, and he said that that Spence is the monster at the division, that it was in his head to fight Spence. He says he said that in his head he's already won the fight many times. I understand that he has to stay motivated, he has to stay happy and basically optimistic and whatnot. But of course, the reality, I feel personally that it's going to be a quite different reality for him, and that reality is going to, hit him in devastating fashion. Now, the reporters, what happened is they asked him why he chose Spence over Lomachenko, and he asked right back, do you think I could have gotten a Lomachenko fight? And that he's been calling his name since after the Nicholas Walters fight, and he's saying that he's ready to fight him, and but he keeps on fighting other guys, and that's true. I mean, when you look at Lomachenko, and I'm gonna say it again, I'm going to say it again, and all you Lomachenko fans can hate all you want, and all of you guys can leave derogatory comments on the bottom, and you can do all of that. But at the end of the day, your comments are going to get deleted. Lomachenko has not fought anybody of note when they were fully in their prime and ready to go. Most of the people he's fought, they were under some peculiar circumstances to fight him. I mean, let's take for example, okay? Let's take for example. Let's take Jorge Linares, okay? Let's take that for example. All right. When we look at Jorge Linares' record, okay? When we look at his record, right? Okay. 45 wins, 4, and all of them were by knockout. All of his losses were by knockout, okay? Now, let's look at the losses by knockout before, he fought Lomachenko. So he lost to Sergio Thomas. He lost to Antonio DeMarco. He lost to, Juan Carlos Salgado. And let's just look at some of the people he's won against, okay? I mean, he beat Rocky Juarez. He beat Oscar Larios. He beat just a bunch of most of the time these guys were journeymen. They weren't really anybody of significance. I'm just being honest. So I mean, you can't even say that that was a credible opponent, being that he got knocked out all 4 times he fought him, man. And for the most part, because Linares was located in Japan for a while. I mean, he fought like a lot of Korean guys. He fought a Thai guy, because this is due to the fact that he was over there in in the Orient, as they say. And I mean, I guess you can say one of his most notable wins that people are going to talk about was his win against Anthony Corolla. But I mean, again, who did Anthony Corolla beat? That's what I'm trying to say. Anthony Corolla got knocked out 6 times. Anthony Corolla fought a guy who was, Anthony Corolla fought a guy who was 7-102. So it's again, Bob Arum is doing what he's always been doing with these fighters, man. He's matching them up against guys that he knows that their fighter would beat. He is not matching them up against guys who pose a threat. That includes, and this is the treatment that Lomachenko is getting as well. And then Mikey said, he just fought against Pedraza. He didn't choose him, and that he also, Mikey Garcia talked about the history about him in Top Rank, and he does have a point there. Would that fight have really been realistic due to the history that Mikey Garcia has with Bob Arum? And that's the truth. And so basically Mikey said, I'm not going to sit on the sideline, and he's going to move on with his career. Now, he also talked about Terence Crawford. And I have to say, I'm sorry to say it, but I agree with him there. He said he had interest in Terence Crawford, but is it a real possibility? I mean, he said he can fight the Luis Corazos, the Jose Benavidez, the Hank Lundys, and the John Molinas of the world. He can continue doing that while I'm chasing greatness. Well, I'd love to fight him, yes, but he got someone that he got to answer to. He got a boss he got to answer to who picks his fights for him. I'm looking for the biggest fights, and I'm making them happen and get done. I'm on another level when it comes to my goals in my career. I don't know what he has in mind. Now, I'm sorry to say it, man, but he's right, man. I mean, at the end of the day, like, Bob Arum is going to matchmake whoever he sees fit for him to matchmake with. And that's just the reality, man. Terence Crawford has no choice, man, on who he fights. I mean, he may say things, he may do the Twitter beef and stuff like that, and may do the Instagram posts and things like that, but he really doesn't have a choice on who he fights. Now granted, like, I think that, the Amir Khan fight that I believe will be confirmed soon is a great fight for Terence Crawford. But then, again, look at when they're getting Amir Khan. They're getting Amir Khan after him being knocked out, after him having a bad showing in his last couple of fights, man. So now they want to fight someone, So this is what I'm saying, man. He's right. And he went on to say he can show up and this is about Terence Crawford. He said he can show up at any press conference and fight and say that he wants to fight them, but he's not the one who is making it happen. His boss, his promoter has to do that. And he's not chasing anybody. And that everybody can talk and have a big mouth all they want, but they're not making things happen. I'm making things happen. He said he got to give Terence Crawford the credit for his skill level, because he does have the skill level and boxing ability to perform at a high level. His IQ is great. He can fight as a left-hander. He can fight as a right-hander. He can trade punches if he has to, but when it comes to opposition, the opposition is at C+ level or B level at best. And he's right. And then, when he asked about, like, who's the most credible opponent of Terence Crawford, Garcia said it was a blown-up Eurokis Gamboa, basically. And that he was, like, short as well. He was, I want to say, 5'2". And so this is true, man. I'm sorry to say it, but Earl Spence is, when it comes to Terence Crawford, he really doesn't have any choice, man. He can, honestly, he can yell, make the fight all he wants to, but if, Bob Arum doesn't see fit for him to fight that guy, it's not going to happen. It's not. Because, look at what we went through when we were trying to get the Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather fight. It was like hell and hot water, basically, for the final fight to be made. You had Bob Arum, making it so difficult, due to the fact that, again, Floyd left Top Rank. So, of course, he was going to make it hard. Because Floyd said he wasn't having what Top Rank was doing with a lot of their fighters. He did not want to be a part of that circle. You really can't blame him, man. So, you know, with that being said, as I said before, man, you know, a Amir Khan fight would be a credible fight, and it would be a pretty entertaining fight, probably, you know. As for Lomachenko, man, I mean, I have a feeling he's just going to keep on fighting these lower level guys. I mean, they're protecting him, and they're going to keep on protecting him. You know, I don't think Mikey would lie about, like, not having any offers to fight Lomachenko or anything like that. I mean, it's really unnecessary to do something like that. But, I mean, I can agree with what he's saying, 100%. If you have a handler, you know, you may not be in control of who you fight. You know, back in the day, the fights happened, you know, because usually if a fight needed to happen, the promoter was going to make the fight. You know, no matter if he thought you can win or you can lose, the fight would usually happen, but we don't see that nowadays, you know. But that's all I got for now, guys. I'm off until the next one. Njaro.